Folks, welcome back to the channel. Really do appreciate you being here. If you are new here, hey, how you doing? My name's Chris and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle. Now, this is officially the first 4 weeks. My first month has now passed since moving into the warehouse. And last week I took you through a whole bunch of different things that I'm feeling. Obviously, there's so many things that we've got to be doing and getting done. And this week is just another one of those. So if you are new here, we've been documenting this journey for the last 5 years. And this is year 5, the start of year 5, and we recently just moved into this, as I said, 4 weeks ago. And we are still in the steps of getting everything set up. I mean, we're set up, we're operating, things are happening, but there's still a lot of things to turn this into the machine that it can be to actually really elevate the business. So come along for the journey. This week, I basically take you through all the decisions I'm making, why I'm doing it, all the different things that we've got to get done to continue to grow the business. My current short-term goal is the next 90 days is to grow the business from a revenue standpoint, just to get some more cash flow back into the business and then start to really smoothing out all the processes along here. We've got electronic station, non-clothing station, and then we've got all our clothing station over here. And then this is all our items and everything else in between, as you can see. So come along for the journey. If you've got any questions, please reach out, ask, chuck them down below, and I'll get back to you. So what are we doing this week? Well, there is one thing that is on the top of my mind, and it is, what am I trying to achieve this week? Now, I took some time off over the weekend. It was a long weekend here in Melbourne, Australia. So I had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. So today's Tuesday. It's not even Monday, it's Tuesday. It was actually a pretty good long weekend. We've done quite a few sales. We did about $1,300 yesterday. We're creeping back up on the sales, but we're still down a little bit in terms of consistency. But back to what my plan is for this week. This week, the whole plan is, there's a couple of things, but number one is just continue to move forward. I've got to sort all of this electronic stuff. I've got to do all of the electronic stuff that I got and started to actually go through already on Friday. I want to get that accomplished. Today's goal will be to really just smash through heaps of these phones just to get those all up and going. That's today's problem. I've also got about 65 orders, which is about 88 items. We've got to pick, pack, and post all that. But other than that, this week, the goal is to continue to just build out this area. Hopefully, I'm gonna have this certified this week. It was meant to happen last week, it hasn't happened. And just because they haven't come out, they're just so busy. So hopefully we can get that done and we can get some things off the ground. And then we wanna get these workstations set up. Trying to get some more of these with some casters so that we can set them up over here. And once that's set up, the next priority is to get another workstation in here. This doesn't have to happen this week. However, my second photographer is back next week, so I want to try and get that happening as soon as possible. So it's going to be a big one. Also did get a fridge. Got a few other things I've got to set up, so I'll go through that a little bit later. For now, I'm just going to get quickly set up, like get myself just into a groove. And then we're going to do a pick, pack, and post. I'm going to put some things on charge and get everything happening. And we're going to have a big day here Tuesday. It is 7:16 a.m. in the morning. Drop Carla off, and we'll be here till about 4:30 probably. So lots to happen, lots to do. Never a dull day. Got my cheeky little St. Ellie coffee as well. If you haven't had these are really, really good. And let's get cracking. Come along for the ride. And again, if you've got questions, chuck them down below. I will say this one thing actually. If you are new here, the way I build my business is going to look very different to probably how you're building yours. You might be a full-timer, you might be a part-timer, you might be just doing it as a side hustle. This is all part of a bigger dream of over 10 years. I just want to make sure I say that because I've got quite a few new subscribers, so thank you for coming along. It's been over the last 3-4 weeks, we've had quite a lot of you join. So thank you so much. And you know, this is me just documenting my journey. If I can give you some insights, some thoughts, some challenges to help you further your business or your ideas or your ambitions, then so be it. But what I'm doing is purely for my business and not for yours. So just keep that into mind and, remember to compare yourself to where you were and not to me or anyone else, and then focus on where you want to be and use yourself as that baseline. All right, let's get into it. All right, I'm just importing all the orders and let's see how much we've got. eBay is saying we have a total of 87, and so does Australia Post, 87 orders. So this is from Friday afternoon all the way till Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All right, so that's all synced up now. I'm going to start to put a whole bunch of these on charge, and then we'll get cracking on this. I've got to pull out those ones as well. So I want to get these done, and then I want to get all the Macs done today. Another little thing that I need to do today is actually go through all of these laptops one by one and actually see what's worth selling, what's not worth selling. There's a whole bunch of these as well. Now, I don't usually do these. I usually sell them off. I am thinking for a short-term win, I might actually sell a whole bunch of them just to get some cash flow happening again. So yeah, let's get cracking. All right, first up is all of these iPhones. I'm just gonna grab a chair. So basically for these, what I'm going to quickly do is put them into their bundles, and then once I've put them into their bundles, I'll go into the charge. So what I mean by bundles is basically just putting into their different devices, into their different models. I don't know how well you can see this. Maybe that's a little bit better. So basically, yeah, just putting them out here. I'll make them into different stacks, essentially. I've done this enough to kind of know what's what and what goes together, and then if I need to do any refinements, I can do that at the end. But this is just a quick little, just to get him into those different models as quickly as possible. Like there's iPods and things like that as well. This just makes it better because most people buying the iPhones, if they're businesses, they're really just looking for parts and they're looking for certain models. So they like to buy them in that, in that sense. Now I am actually looking for a phone in here for myself, just for some extra photos and extra videoing for the warehouse as well. So I might even try and see if we can find one in here to do that too. Yeah. So it's pretty easy process. Then we're going to charge them all and see what we can get out of these. Oh, we've got a product red. They usually go extra premium, which I'm pretty happy with. That can go by itself. Oh, it's hot today. It is going to be 32. It's been 32 for the last couple of days, which has been pretty disgusting. Nice little iPod. What do we got here? This one's got a nice little cover on it, which is a bit hard to get off. Actually, there's quite a few iPods this time. Nice, iPod, iPhone, iPod. I bundle them up too, really. I mean, if some phones are all working by themselves, I will sell them by themselves too, but most of the time this is all parts, so it's just not really worth it. And we've got another big one there. That's another one with a case on it. There we go. That hurt. It's just an iPhone 3 by the looks of it. Jeez. Alright, so that's essentially all the iPhones done. Got to get those cases off still, but now they'll just go into the charge. So what this looks like, sorry if I'm butchering this, hopefully you can still see. Yeah, you kind of can. Yeah, it's good enough. Alright, so essentially what I'm going to do is pick out these like this, and then like this. Starting with the higher end models first. Put the product red in there. We'll also chuck in this one. Then we just plug them in. Now this little charging device I just got off Amazon actually. I think it was 97 bucks, somewhere around there, but it does give the ability to be able to charge so many at the same time, which obviously is a huge time saver. I used to do this one by one. And then when I knew I was going to be getting lots of phones, I just made the investment and just went cold turkey and just got it. And then I did the same thing for the Samsung phones or Android phones. I've mixed this up. This one needs to go over here. That's fine, I'll just chuck him in there. What do we got? We've got one more here and one more here. So they're not actually making product red iPhones anymore. They've been discontinued, so they are kind of sought after now. All right, so that's the iPhones. I'll let them charge, make sure everything's coming through. Sometimes they take a little bit to kind of wake up. Now we're going to do the same for the Samsung. Let's do that. All right, Samsung, very similar process. Just pulling them out, basically picking out the relevant models and putting them somewhat together where possible. And then, yeah, same thing really. Some of these won't all be the same, so I just kind of mix and match as much as possible. But usually does enough justice to make my life a little bit easier when we get into the actual charging period. It's got another cover on it. And some of these have batteries in the back, so I take all the batteries out of these, like so basically like that, and they just get sold as parts. What's this? This is... Alright, that was it. Again, putting them on charge on this one over here, and obviously need different cables for these, which is fine. So USB-C, which is the black one. So USB-C. We've got a USB-C. Need to plug another one in. This is USB-C as well. I actually don't have any other USB-C, so he'll have to come off later. That's a really old one. I don't even have that one. Alright, this is one of these ones. I think this is micro USB from memory. You just get all these cables off Amazon if you're doing this kind of thing. Just need cheap ones anyway. Battery, that will have a battery in it as well. Take that out, battery. All the rest of batteries, those ones will go in there once they're finished charging. Switch them over, can't do that one. Alright, that's that. And then there's also Google as well, which I will pull out Google Pixel. Just put these back in here for now. The same thing, just Google Pixels. These are all USB-C, so they will go in that rank as well. These will probably get bundled up together. You can already hear these coming online. Alright, so this one has been water damaged, so that's a dead phone, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's the reality of it. Okay. Oh, I've still got one more USB-C there, sweet. Alright, that's done. Let them charge, do their thing. Once they've got enough charge, I put them in their piles, and then we continue to charge them all until we've got enough to do listings, and then we do the batch listings. Still got iPads, still got lots of more phones, but that just gives you a bit of an idea. I'm going to let these charge. I'll come back in about 15-20 minutes and switch them over. Alright, so you're probably wondering how many orders have we had for the weekend and all that jazz. Well, I think I told you already there was a total of 87. In terms of how we're actually tracking, it was a total of $3,692, and I'll put up on screen. I've just got my phone on charge, so I can't show you, but I'll show you a bit later of where we're in terms of 90-day total. I think we're sitting about 84,900. We have dropped down, but hopefully by end of day that will start to ramp back up again. So we're going to pick some orders, come along for a quick little ride. I'm going to try a little bit different to see if I can get you guys coming along as a bit of a point of view and see if you can enjoy the experience as well. So buckle up, could be a little bumpy, but I think we're going to have some fun along the way. Alright, we've got our first item. What's next is 9381. Should be right down the end. Should be just here. 9230. couple of Macs. We've actually got 4 Macs. So hopefully a bunch of these, and then I think I've got one of my old ones as well. So these ones, what have we got? Mac 39, which should be just there. And then we've got Mac 40, which will be there. And then we've got Mac 38 and 31. There's 38. Mac 31. Just here. Probably the one down the bottom. Actually, this might be my older one. Yep, down here. Mac 31. Next up is 8708. So this one will be just about here. 8708. What have we got? Should be just here somewhere. 707 8708. There we go. Now, sometimes I do bring the thing down here, but once I get into a flow, I actually prefer to just walk back and forth. Sometimes it can be quicker to just have it. Depends on my orders. If I've got multi-quantity, sure. But in this case, it's just a lot quicker. 5512 will be just here. 5512. Just here somewhere. There we go. 5512. It's just quicker this way. I enjoy it. It just makes a lot more sense. 13298 should be just here. 13298. Oh geez, all the way down here. Will be. Oh, this might actually be hanging. I might not have checked it probably. I think this one is hanging. I think it's hanging. Ooh, it's hanging. Helps if you read the SKU right. 13298 will be around here, and it should be, there it is there. Nice little field and stream. This is a shacket. This one has gone probably for about 36 plus post. Haven't checked it, but we usually list these for about 49. Just for the, it's gone for 41. There we go. Next up is 9234. 9234 should be just here. There we go. Another nice little denim. Yeah, now because I'm filming, I'm obviously not being as productive, so I'm going to put you down and you can see a little bit of what I do and what I don't do. All right, we've got 9562. Really beautiful shirt. It's a Tommy shirt. I'll put it up on screen, you can have a look. Really cool selling that one. And then 3649 should be just here. 36. Yeah, there it is. Right at the front. Right, getting through it. That was a multi-quantity order. Now we've got another DVD, which will be back around this way. Now, I don't sell a lot of DVDs, but when I do sell DVDs, I usually try to sell them for over a certain amount. That's gone for 36. We have a Ralphie. Oh, realised I didn't turn the camera. I do apologise. There you go. This is 11,911. We've got a whole bunch of R.M. Williams going out. I'm going to pull that out later because they're in that section over there. Well, they might not actually be. Let's just check that. They might actually be in the ones here. Let's just not assume that. They might actually be in this lot here. So this is where I keep kind of all my multi-quantity there, and there. Don't know if you can see that really well. You'll get the gist of it. All right, what do we got? J05. Yep, and the other section. So I'm going to get these out. I'll get these out last because they're just going to take a little bit. Just so you know, because we haven't really put these in a easy access. So we'll grab those a little later. Let's move on to the next one. Whew. I need to go blow my nose. Give me a second. All right, we are done. It's getting pretty windy. You can probably hear that thing rattling up there. Bit annoying. It's also getting very hot in here, so I'm going to put the fan on soon. But for now, this is everything that we've got. We've got all under here as well. All of this, all of this, all of this, all of this. That's a full ton. We've got more goodies over here. That was pretty cool to go out. It's gone to the US actually. And then the big bolo is this one. This is a consignment piece though, so that one for 410, which is pretty neat. I'm going to quickly just check these phones, see if there's any to switch over, and then we're going to start doing a packing process. I won't show you everything, but I will give you guys a bit of a glimpse of me packing. I've had a few people ask they want to see packing. I should really do some packing videos as well. It would be a bit of fun, but I don't know. I just love being able to put some music on, hang out by myself, and just soldier through it. When I've got people watching me, I just can't concentrate. But I'll show you anyway. I'll see what I can do and put it out there. I did actually have someone ask me if I can show us doing the photos. I can't do that. I mean, if I'm doing it, sure. But because I now have photographers doing it, I'm not going to film my photographers doing it because that's not fair to them. That's not what they get paid for, to be on camera. So I'll show you how I've done it in the past, and if I ever do it, I'll film myself again. But most of the time I don't do it myself. All right, let's do the phones and then get packing. All right, let's do a pick, pack, and post. In this case, we're just packing. Hopefully, you probably can't really see too much here. Actually, I've just realized maybe I'll just move you, but I'm trying to put you in a position which doesn't reveal too much information of customers, but also gives you a good glimpse of how everything happens. I think this will work. I think this will work. All right, so what we basically do is on one screen, I have all my orders. On the other screen, I have Australia Post. And this is a pretty straightforward approach. I see a lot of people do all their postage very different. I have now, I will be moving to a shipping software eventually, but the way I do it at the moment, you'll see it in a second, is basically I pack the item, I print the item, and then I move on to the next one. So we do a one by one as we go. So the first item that we got is this little Foo Fighters t-shirt. This has gone for $41.20. Simple enough, just grab a little satchel, chuck it in, grab a business card, chuck it in. This, I used to skew all these, used to write on them, but to avoid doing this in batches now, just do it like that, and then I just go print, so edit, put the detail in it. I do actually still put the SKU on it. That's for customer validation that they get the right number matching to the right order. So for instance, when they pull out the item, it should be the same SKU that they see on the order when they pull the item out, just to validation. I don't think I've got any express today. I do have one express, okay, but this isn't that. And then that's it, save. And then I just print it out, just like that. So the problem is you have to press it a couple of times, which is a little frustrating, once I get to the shipping software, it will actually enable me to be able to just print without paying, because it just goes onto my Australia Post credit anyway. And then we want to put this into Ozprint and boom. So I use the Ozprint, not the wireless edition. I just use the plug-in. There we go. Put it straight on. And then chuck it in. And that's how we do it. I'm just going to use the bathroom, and then we're going to get cracking. All right, so this next one is the big Lego box, which these are always fun to pack because don't necessarily know the box. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave that till last, one of the last ones that I pack, just because I can just process everything else a lot quicker. That's what we'll do. All right, it's a bit noisy in here, so I do apologize. We're gonna do this one. I'm gonna have to Frankenstein a box. So I've got some cardboard here. We're gonna go over the top. We'll do another layer underneath. We'll bubble wrap it, and then should be all good. So I'll show you what this looks like once it's done. You ready? And boom. All right, so I did have to move over here, just easier to do. She's a little rough, but it's honest work. Probably little spots that I'll just clear up a little bit, but we'll measure this, weigh this, and get it out. It's actually just going down the road, so it shouldn't cost too much at all, which is pretty good. So happy with that? Whew, all right, there we go, shockers. 3 IKEA bags, big post bag, and then all of that as well. All right, I'm gonna go take a break, gonna go grab some lunch actually, and forgot to do the shopping on the weekend, so I'll just go grab something down the road, come back, and then we get into doing some of the actual work. All right, I'm back. I've got a mango smoothie. We're gonna go over and do the iPhones now. The fan is loud, so I do apologize. I'll take you over there. I'll speak as loud as I possibly can. I'm working on getting a media mount for a media mod for the GoPro, which will be able to help. But we're going to do these. These are now in bundles. We're just going to test through them, check them, see what the damage is, grade them, all those different things, and then they'll be put into lots of working or scrap only, or for parts, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, probably get about maybe 5 or 6 bundles there, I think, and then we're going to do iPads, do the Samsungs, and I'll do the others as well. So let's get into it. Let's do some iPads. All right, so at the moment I've got a whole bunch of iPads charging, and I'm actually just doing a whole bunch of Samsung tablets. A lot of these are just parts not working. I think there was a couple here which could be good for someone to do repairs on, and might be worth someone's time, but a lot of these, and that's the thing, so a lot of this stuff is a hit and miss. For parts only bundles, they do really well, but you know, in terms of getting some bigger dollars for ones that are working, it's usually kind of like 1 in 100 devices are actually going to get you over like $150, which isn't bad, and the rest you just bundle up and, you know, for parts or whatever. And that's why I've been really focused on building repeat customer base for these kind of products, because I've got people that will pay a certain price, so I just list them up, they just buy them, and then we're all happy days. It's the quickest way to do it. And then there's obviously some that we can't sell at all. It's just not worth it for them or for us. So it is a bit of a slow process, but usually it's a huge sell-through rate, right? So I'll get all this listed hopefully tonight, tomorrow, and then usually selling it all. If there's about 10
10, 15 lots, average sale price per lot is between $70 and $100. So usually works out pretty worth it. Good for cash flow. Anyway, time's 3 o'clock. I'm going to keep charging on. Been a bit slow today. I did have my dad rock up. He's been doing some assessment on some stuff. And it sounds like my racking will come after 12:30 tomorrow. That's now confirmed. So, woohoo! All right, still got them charging. So I'll leave them a little bit longer. I'm going to put my own phone on charge as well. But while that's happening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these Macs out, get them ready for tomorrow. I'll probably do them in the afternoon. And then I'm going to quickly come over here and go through all these and just kind of do a spot check of, I think probably the quickest way is just quickly looking them up on Google to see if it's worth it or not. And yeah, progress from there. I've also got a bunch. I think I've got one more on the back there as well. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I've got a stash over there as well. So it's a pretty slow process, to be honest. But that's why I want to, I just need to get things set up. I mean, I'm still having to move things around. There's no point me packing all this away until I'm ready to set everything up. So just a little bit longer and we'll be ready to do all this. I'm just venting to myself, don't mind me. All right, we've actually found quite a good, all of these I'll be able to sell as parts not working, probably average ASP $45 each. So and there's a couple more that I got to check. I've just actually been on the phone with eBay, always things happening. So customer purchased something, 3 items. I never usually get someone return every single item. Anyway, they wanted to return them, fair enough, change of mind. And they returned them under 3 labels, not under 1. So just been working with eBay of what's the right approach here. So I've got to actually assess the items. I just had them dropped off, so I haven't actually looked through them yet. So I'm going to do that right now. But yeah, it's interesting. Customer, I don't know if they've done this before or maybe they're doing a dodgy. But it seems like it was harmless. It looks like they've just they just didn't know the process. To be honest, I would say that's what the case has been. Because the items look okay. It was just really weird that as soon as they got them, they raised the return. But I'd say they probably just got on top of it straight away. So it is what it is. But in this case, it was interesting what eBay said to do. They said, assuming the items are okay, what I should do is actually just report the buyer and explain the situation of what's happened. And then eBay is going to credit me the difference. But they did say, like, if there's nothing wrong, make sure I'm very clear in my report of the situation. I'm not reporting them because they did something bad. They might not have just known. It looks like they're a, low feedback customer, so they probably haven't done this before. But they actually look okay. Actually, I think they even washed them. So, yeah, okay, maybe it's not too bad. So, yeah, it's just interesting. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, but you still learn things new every day. And I don't usually, I've sold, I think the highest quantity was like 19 items to one individual, and I've never had a return. So like in a multi-quantity return. So this was the first time that someone's purchased everything and then returned everything. My scare has been that like they've tried to do a switcheroo or something, but all seems pretty good. So interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna finish these. It looks like I could hear the iPads making their little ding noises. So I'm going to see if they're all done. I also got the MacBooks out, so I'll put the SKUs on those later so I can come in and start them tomorrow. Just really trying to get as many things done as possible. It was a big day today having to do so much postage, but hopefully the rest of the week we can just knuckle down and just get as many photos done as possible, because that's really my priority, and I've got to do a lot of sorting and all that. So because I don't have to do too much shuffling this week, but we lost Monday because it was a public holiday. Yeah, that's really my intention at the moment. But tomorrow I've got backpacks as well, so I'll be out half the day, but that's the way it is. To me, my current focus, and I spoke to you a lot about this last week, where I was saying I just felt a bit frustrated because I didn't feel like we're making enough progress. And look, there's been a lot of things happening. Even today, Tuesday, I haven't had my workers in this week. One worker's still away till next week. The other one, obviously, I can't expect them to do more that they don't want to do. So it just, I just want things moving. I just want to get things moving. And I know a lot of you have said it's going to come. It's okay. And it is. It's all good. It's just, I'm ready to just rock and roll now. And I just want all these little bits and bobs to be fixed, because that was the idea of the warehouse. But I think, to be honest, now that I've had a bit of a reflection on it all, I think we're not really going to be in a position of a well-oiled machine probably until, if I'm honest, probably the end of March, which means April will probably start to get a little bit more of a runway. May I go away for a bit, but yeah, hopefully we'll be doing a little bit of catch up in April. So that's the goal anyway. Let's get this stuff done. All right, that is done. They are now uploading onto Dropbox. So we did a total of, it was 16 lots, which it doesn't seem like a lot of listings, but I think on average I think it will work out to be about $75. So 75, yeah, should be times 16. Yeah, should be about $1,200 there. Hopefully. I'm gonna quickly, well, that's uploading. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna label all these Macs for SKUs ready for tomorrow. I'm gonna take those laptops over to here. I know I've got a whole bunch of questions I need to get to this week as well. I've seen a few comments and questions come through. I'll probably answer that tomorrow or Thursday. Jeez. All right, it's 4:30. Carla's on her way back, so I'm just going to quickly do a little bit of that, and then I've also got to do those returns as well. So yeah, good progress. So one of the big rules that I'll be setting now that we're in the warehouse, and once things are fully set up, is making sure that, because now we don't have to, if you're new here, when we're in storage units, the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes of the day, we were shutting up, putting things away, and, you know, getting things stuffed away so we could close the storage units. Obviously, we don't have to do that here. All I got to do is I could just walk out, lock the door, and we're good to go and set the alarm. But one of the things that I'm going to really make sure I emphasize for myself, firstly, and then for the rest of the team when they're working, is that we reset to 0 and that we have things ready and prepped to go for the next day. Now, we already do this for the clothing. As you can see over here, my worker will be in tomorrow morning. They can come in and get started straight away. But for myself, it's always been a bit of a challenge, and that's why it's so crucial of getting this set up in a position where I can just come in and execute. And I don't think people really understand. Maybe you do. Look, I don't mean to tell you how to suck eggs, but like, the way I envision this is that I want to walk in. If I've got a PlayStation, I can walk in and I can be testing the PlayStation within literally like 5-10 seconds. That's how quickly I want to be able to be doing it. I want to be able to do it so that I've got all my Mac stuff there, all my iPhone stuff there, all my Samsung stuff there. Basically knowing of all the regular content, all the regular categories and products and listings that I'm doing, I should be able to set up, 80% is ready to just rock and roll, bang, bang, bang. Because that is what's going to enable all of this to be successful. Like, I've got all of these ready to go through. Now, they're going to be sold as parts, so we're going to have to remove hard drives. We're not going to be able to test them. I don't have power supplies for them. But what I will be starting to do is also making sure that over time, see if I can invest in some of those multiple, they're basically power supplies that they can plug and play into multiple different laptops. And that way we'll be able to elevate the ASP. But short term, it's just, let's just get it done and dusted. So that's that. Carla's just getting on the train now. She had some delays, so I've still got about an hour. I'm going to continue to go through those laptops and also get them ready for the next days of work as well. Just really getting a backlog here. That's what I'm focusing on now, because this week I just want to absolutely smash it so we can get some cash flow. I have some crazy ass bills due for the warehouse, for the stock. I put everything through the Amex, so I've never not paid my Amex, but it still keeps me honest. I want to make sure that we've got that turning over as quickly as possible. So yeah, let's I'm going to turn all of this into what it needs to be so that we're good to go for tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. All right, this is where we landed. So basically, we've got all the cameras. That's the stuff that I didn't get finished on the other day. They're all just first gen iPhones. They're on the Macs. That's priority tomorrow. and then anything else here we can do. I would like to get to these today. So these ones, just quick comping for parts only, they should average between, without postage, 60 plus minus kind of thing. So that's definitely worth my time for those ones. There might be one or two there which might be a little bit lower because of screen situations. These ones here, these are actually probably going to be worth it to actually pull because they're very old, they've actually got dedicated CPUs. They're probably worth to pull out by themselves, and then they'll be scrap, and that's just pure scrap. So it actually was a pretty good one. If I can get potentially, there must be about 20 laptops here, and if they're all going to be 60, I mean, that's another $1,200. So they'll need a bit of a clean, but I think they're going to be the quick bang for buck. But I think tomorrow's plan will be the Macs and these. I've got a screwdriver coming for those because I've been having a few issues with my drill on some of those. And then after that, I've still got some shoes that I need to do, but in between, which is like now, I've still got about 20 minutes. I'm actually going to sort a whole bunch of this media. So just trying to get quick wins done without overdoing it. I've uploaded all those photos now from today, so we should be able to have them go live tomorrow, hopefully. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with today. It's pretty good. The next thing is, once we get this whole thing set up, is I want to jump onto these bad boys. I might actually quickly comp these right now and see what's going to be worth it for parts or working. All right, these are average probably $90 if they're working, 90 plus post. However, I'm actually tempted to just flog them, but we'll see. They're probably really good ones to test because I haven't got a testing process for them. So it's a good amount to have for a testing process. For a testing of a testing process, if that makes sense. This one was probably only about 20, 30 bucks. The others were just not worth it, so they're probably a no-no. I've actually got another 3 or 4 of these from a consignment deal sitting down in that stash, which I need to do. Laptops are over here now. All right, I'm gonna sort some media. All right, this is pretty much a wrap for the day, but there's some really interesting stuff in here. Like, nothing in here that I think is crazy, but I mean, just to find like the Beatles anthology on VHS. I haven't looked it up. It's probably worth nothing, but there's some just really cool stuff. We've got this one. We've got some Radiohead, Silverchair, a whole bunch of different things. Some of the CDs on these are actually pretty good as well. I like the quality. We've got original Blink-182. Some really interesting things. Stormboy DVD. This one's interesting. Dad only. I don't know. Anyway, so I've got to go through comp all this, but probably what I'll be doing, and I'm already working with a few people that have reached out, is hopefully making up big bundles of these. Doing it pretty cheap. I've got to, finalize pricing and stuff, but yeah, we're testing it out. I mean, this is not even what I would be getting weekly, and this is only from 2 boxes. So again, nothing crazy here, not trying to overhype it, but there's plenty of sealed stuff as well. There's some interesting things, that's for sure. Learning lots, but yeah, it'll be interesting. We're going to test it out. So anyway, I got to pack up, get out of here, and go pick Carla. We'll be back here tomorrow after 12 o'clock, and that's getting checked, and then we can start to do some more things. Woo! Appreciate you being here. If you've got questions, chuck them down below. I'll see you in a second. Ciao. Folks, welcome to Wednesday. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. I actually come in early before backpacks because I realized I forgot to move all this, and I don't want to be rushing here to, this afternoon. I mean, the person said they're coming after 12:30. I usually get back around here 12:30. And look, they probably won't be here at 12:30, but I do not want to get here and they're like here and then all of this is in the way. So I'm going to move all this now, and then I've got a little bit of time to just get a few more things done. So I'm actually going to, I might do some cameras because they're just really quick, or I've got some more Lego actually, so just to bang out a couple of things. Yeah, so let me clean this up, and I might even address a couple of questions, but that's probably going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow I've actually got a really exciting opportunity for another big deal. However, I don't really want to be buying more stock at the moment because we have way too much stock. However, once I get my other worker back, once we're back in the flow, like, we're going to start to smash through this pretty quick. I've probably got, there's about 100 pairs in there, there's about 40 here, there's about maybe 50 there, 60 there, and then all of this, I mean, some of this I have to sort through, so I haven't gone through, but I mean, I've probably really only got 800 items, which I know it sounds like a lot, but once we're in full fab, we're doing 1,200 items a month. So that just goes to show how much we're down. And I will also share, geez, it has been brutal again. We started the week off so strong, and now it's just, we've taken a nosedive. Yesterday we did $330, which is just wild, like not enough at all. We're back down to 83,900. That's how much we've dropped. So I'll tell you, it really does put my mind to a little bit of frustration. And sorry, let me clarify. So there's about 800 items there, and then that is about 750. So we do have 1,500 items. We're basically covered up until end of April, which is, you know, when I originally purchased all this, and that was the plan. So technically, I don't need to buy anything till May, which, you know, look, that's not far away when we think about it. So just so how people understand how I operate, obviously the stock I buy today isn't the stuff that we're listing today, it's the stuff we're potentially listing down the line, because I need that backflow of stuff. The good thing is some of this I can just call up and have it delivered within a week or whatever, but I don't really like leaving it to the last minute. So, all right, let's go do this, and we're just going to basically put them up along here for now, and yeah, that's what we'll get happening. Let's see if we can plug you in here somewhere. Plenty of room, because I've got to assess the bolts and all that stuff as well. So, oh, sorry, didn't realize I wasn't looking at you. Yeah, all right. There was, what was I going to say? There was some questions last week, and I kind of alluded to it yesterday. A lot of people, and I appreciate all the suggestions and things you want to see. A lot of people asking for me to show more of what I'm actually doing. And look, that's a fair point. Like, I mean, I know I tend to just say, I'm going to go do this, go do it and show you the result. The reason why I do that is, for me personally, I like to be able to just stay focused and not be thinking about the camera and thinking about, you know, filming and all that. Even though that I'm filming my journey, I'm trying to keep it documented and whatever. So I'll see what I can do to be more mindful of that. There was one really encouraging comment, and sorry, I don't have my phone in front of me, but I really appreciate these comments. I'm going to put it up, saying that, you know, you love seeing that, you know, I'm doing so much, you know, $90,000 every 90 days. Obviously that's come down now, but you would love to know what that looks like for a big seller. And that's fair game, because, you know, I'm showing you everything I'm doing, but I'm not actually showing you me doing the time lapse of doing things. So I'll see how I can bring that into it. In terms of, you know, sharing how we do photos and stuff, I can't share my photographers. That's just not fair game. I can document it if I do it myself, but yeah. There was also, I think from Tony, a question about the office, saying, could I sublease the office for a short time, because I'm spending a lot more of my time, obviously, in the warehouse. Now, short-term wise, yeah, I'm going to be spending a lot more time in the warehouse as we get set up. But there is some intentions in here. This space I want to be my office. This space I want it to be where I'm spending majority of my time doing more business development and having meetings, but also where we're going to be doing more of our listings and scaling up. And that's the intention in there. I also want to leverage it for podcasting. I want to leverage it to be actually doing more of the work that I end up doing at home here, because at the moment I do all my working in the business while I'm here, and then usually I'm working on the business at home, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be able to go home and rest. Now, that's going to be easier said than done, because I am always thinking about numbers. Driving here, I've been thinking about things I need to be doing, extra things I need to be doing, because that's the space that I have of a clear head. while I'm here and operating, I just need to execute. So that's the intention in there. I will also have a spot in there for Carla to work. There are a couple other things I want to trial in here, but it was a really good perspective from Tony. Is like, can I be leveraging it in a different way for the short term while we're getting up and running in here? So it does make me think, can I do that somehow? And I'll be thinking about that a little bit to see if I can leverage it, even if it means that I've just got someone coming in here and using this space to be able to do some work or something. Not a bad idea. And I'm allowed to sublease if I want to. I mean, we will be, some of these will be, some of the pallet sections up here is going to be rented out. I mean, it's not subleasing, it's purely just, I'm going to store it here for them, and then it's for a period of time and then they pick it up. But that's not high revenue, but that will be part of a different part of a business model that I'll be hopefully kicking off within the next 3 months as well. And then obviously I'm using that for storage for myself too. So there's a number of different things, but I really appreciate everyone giving their insights, some ideas, suggestions. Whether I agree with it or not, it's not personal. It's purely because I know where I want to take the business, so I have to make sure, does it align to the steps that I need to take to get me to where I want to be? However, there is some good perspectives of maybe changing things up and can I do things differently? So I appreciate all the insight and the questions and thoughts around that. All right, I'm going to do some quick photos. It's 8:17. I've only got about 30 minutes or so, maybe a little bit more. And I've actually got my photographer in today. I'll wait till they get here before I leave so I don't have to lock up, and they can just get straight into it. So actually I better put the phones on charge for them. Anyway, let's get to it. All right, so what I've just been doing is I've got all the cameras from yesterday that I pulled out, and all of these are all untested with no batteries. So they're really quick to list. All I do is essentially, well, one, I just see if there's any memory cards or any batteries in them, which it was no. So then it's just front, back, up, down, left, right, photos of it, and they're just listed untested at market price. ASP of these is usually anywhere between $20 to $60, depending on the models. Like this one usually can go up to, international parts only can go up for 150. That's the IX US models. This is the 80, so it probably won't be as good. The 120s and the 150s, I think it is, do a lot better. And then same thing with like this. This is a Nikon D750, no battery. It's just the shell or the body more so. Again, just be listing it as is. Then we got another D100, same thing. This one, does it have the battery? No, it doesn't. Just seeing what we got here. So just be listed as parts only. Probably won't go for much, but they're usually quick sellers. Actually, maybe it does have the battery. What is this? Anyway, so that's what we're doing here. Do have a Sony HDD hard disk drive Handycam as well. Same thing, no battery, so just going to be listed as parts only. And then we've got this interesting Canon. This is one of those underwater ones, but it looks like the underwater thing didn't work too well because it's clearly eroded. So I don't think that one's going to be even worth selling as parts only, to be honest. Yeah, she's a goner. She has seen the water. That's pretty cool though. How far the tech's come, because you know it might actually work. I mean, there's an SD card in there actually. Interesting. Look, we might be able to list it like that, but it might actually be okay. And there's no way to tell. But yeah, that's what we're going to quickly do now. I'm not going to film it. I mean, I literally just explained what I just did. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to up, down, left, right, front, back photos. I'll put them into the SKU sheet, and then they'll go into that electronics folder that I did yesterday. I've also got this guy. Now he's actually working. However, it's untested with the film because I turned it on, and where's the button? I already tested this the other day. And yeah, it was working. So I'm not sure. Oh, there's batteries in it. It just takes AA's. This is the Insta Mini 12. Fun little camera. So yeah, well, this one it might actually sell okay, but I mean, they're kind of modern anyway, so I don't think they're super valuable. But yeah, a few different options there. Let's get to work. And done. We have done a total of, well, I don't know how many it was. All these cameras, it was a total of 14 cameras. It's taken us less than 20 minutes, just quick and easy. Average, I think, will be about 30 plus posts. So let's say $40 revenue. So there should be about $400, $500 there, which is pretty good. Not too bad for 20 minutes. And that's why it's so important to come ready to just execute. And I mean, we don't even have our full setup yet, but that's really intention. So I'm going to put this away. There was actually one other camera, but I can't get the battery out because it looks like it's expanded, so that's a bit of a pain. Actually, I might do this one as well. Just realized I've got this one. Oh no, this is also corroded and batteries are stuck inside, so I need to do a little bit of work on that. Alright, that's that. I'm going to probably go take some photos of some quick Lego, and I think I've got some more Lego. And then it'll be almost time to go. I might not even get that done. So yeah, pretty happy with this. Alright folks, I'm off. I'll be back here after 12 o'clock and we'll keep on for the day. Probably do a pick, pack and post, continue on with the laptops, all that jazz. I'll see you in a jiffy. Alright folks, back at the warehouse. Gonna have some lunch now, and then it's probably a pick, pack and a post. And I think I've got a couple of other people dropping by today as well, so just manage that. And then yeah, get back onto the laptops. That's probably the key priority today. I'm gonna have some lunch first and then we'll get into that. Alright folks, not too much going out. We do have this little garbage gang card going out, and then we've got all of these. Multi-order in here of 6 items. Nice big Nike jacket too. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet, so just have to go with it. Let's get it packed up. Alright team, it's been about an hour and a half or so. Good news. The good news is this has been reviewed and it's technically okay. We just have to make some slight adjustments, so that's going to happen on Friday. And then I'll just send the photos and we're all good, so that's good. They don't have to come back, they don't have to look at it again. So very happy with that. One thing done. Yeah, so that's just taken a while. I had some visitors as well. Now to finish postage and then see what else we can do. Alright folks, back here doing the Macs finally. So the process for these is quite simple. I'm just plugging them in, seeing if they work, if they charge, if they boot up, if they do boot up. I'm just giving them a reformat, and then they just get sold as is. None of these are real high-end ones. I think one of them might be, but I don't know. It might not even work. But some of these we actually shimmy off to get repaired, and it's worth, to get repaired because we can make a lot more money. But if they're the lower end models, it doesn't really make sense. But ASP on these anywhere between $60 to $100, depending on the models and their condition, of course. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So hopefully, another good amount of dollars. So let's get cracking on that. Alright folks, laptops and the MacBooks are all done. They're now uploading, and had a couple of drop-offs in between. We've got this new device right here, nice little trolley, and we got this little trolley as well, which will be pretty good for picking and post and just shuffling things around. So very happy with that one. This one is being used, well, for now it'll be just for hanging stuff, but we'll probably end up using this for all the washing pickups as well. So very happy with that. It is now 4:13. It's pretty much a wrap of the day. Got to take the postage and get it dropped off. We did get all the MacBooks done. There was one Mac which just turns into scrap because just wasn't worth it. Tomorrow I have a few things in the morning, a couple of business meetings, and then I got to go pick up the next workstation, which will be going here. And then once we have that, and then we get the caster wheels for these, we've pretty much got all of the desks for the setup. And yeah, And then Friday, the racking will get done as well. So it's pretty much a wrap of the day. Tired, but we charge on. Back here tomorrow. Ciao. Folks, and just like that, it was Thursday. Hope you're all doing well. So today, starting off in the city. It's
exit number 6 for State Route 83.
Starting off in Melbourne. I've just dropped Carla off, and I'm heading in to go look at a deal with one of my, I guess that's one of my sources and mates. Haven't done anything with this individual for a while, and I was thinking about it, just thinking about them the other day, and then they messaged me. It's always meant to be, these kind of things. So gonna go look at that deal, just more clothing, and then after that we'll be heading to have a business meeting with someone else, another contact, and then I've got a few pickups on the way home. It's a bit busy. it's a bit of a busy day. Lots of different things happening, and then we should be back at the warehouse probably after lunch, I'd say. So I'm not sure how much I'll film this morning, and I'm not even sure if I'm getting stuff today, but that's the way it is. So I guess I'll check in a little bit later. I need to focus because I haven't been in this side of the woods before, so we'll chat soon, and I'll keep you updated. All right, team, just finished up at looking through that deal, which is, geez, pretty wild. Like, really crazy opportunity. Probably about 2,000 items, really good terms, really good wholesale opportunity, and lots to think about. I haven't made a decision yet, but well, we're probably moving forward. It's more I just got to work through a couple of the numbers and just making sure it all makes sense. So that's done. I'm now going to go meet up with my mate now, catch up, and it's a bit of a business development kind of morning. And ideally this is the kind of stuff that I want to be doing more of, is building those relationships, having those conversations, working on deals, sourcing, all that kind of stuff, and then having the team operate more back at the business, which we kind of do that at a level of scale already, but obviously at the moment there's no one there. It's just me out here doing this. So once we get everything up and set, ideally I've got someone working every single day. We've got a team doing things and processing stuff, so we're continuously always to make money. That's the key thing and priority for me at this point, is to get everything up and going so we can execute and really process more than we've ever processed before. So yeah, crazy stuff. Lots going through my head at the moment. Number crunching, just it's when you start to do business with really great people, you get really good opportunities, but it doesn't mean it makes it easier. Like, this stuff will put me out of my comfort zone again. It's more than I've done before. It's more expense than I've done before, but always opportunity like these, they don't always come along, right? So you've always got to really validate, is this what you want to get into? Is it going to pay off? Can you do it? Can you handle it? All those kind of things. So lots on my mind. I'm going to go drive to my next appointment. We'll catch up a bit later as well, and I'll give you a bit more ideas of how I'm thinking. I apologize if it's all cloak and dagger. That's because I'm still figuring things out, but obviously if I go ahead with what I go ahead with, you'll get an understanding of it. So crazy stuff. Yeah, let's charge on. Woo! All right, team, it is 2:43. I've been out and about. I've got a van full of pallets, workbenches, and a few other bits and bobs that I picked up while I was out. It's been one of those days where it's just been purely business development. This is something that doesn't get spoken about really in detail that I've found. And today, meeting with a supplier, working through deal terms. Hopefully we'll go through that. We'll come back there next week and deal with all that. Probably about 2,000 items. Then I met up with a vendor for some tooling. I won't share too much on that at this point, but it's a good an hour and a half chat, seeing what I can help for them, what they can help for me, see if there's any opportunities together, whether it's leveraging things that I can do or leveraging things that they can do. And then I've been to my mate's at his warehouse, picked up some stuff, workbenches and things that we'll be going into over into the electronics section. That's that. So now what I'm going to do first thing is I'm going to have some lunch, and then we're going to do a pick, pack and post. It's actually been a pretty good day. We've sold a lot of electronics. Yesterday, last night, I listed 16 lots of electronics, and they all sold within, must have been about 15 minutes. And we're back on 85,951. we've got 15 orders to go out. We've got stuff ranging from $200, $120. One customer spent $600. We've got some posters going out. We've got clothes. We've got some Pokemon stuff. We did sell a Versace jacket as well. So lots of goodies. It's a good day. So I'm gonna eat some food, get straight into pick, pack and post, unload the van, and then I've got another appointment before I pick up Carla. So busy day, but a good one for a long-term perspective. Let's have some lunch and get into it. It's warm in here. All right, we've got all of these phones going out. One person has purchased majority of those. I've got someone that's purchased all of these, and someone's taken one of those out of that. We've got this guy going out. Here's some clothes. We did sell this little guy, and we've been selling some radios as well, and a little Digimon pouch too. So not spending too much time on this. Really need to post because I've got to be out of here basically in about an hour. So really need to get this done, and then I've got to unpack the van as well, which might be a bit hard by myself. So might have to leave that till tomorrow, but let's get cracking. All right, postage is done. It is now 4:09. I'm gonna quickly just get a couple of things out of the van. I'll have to get the big desk out tomorrow, I think, but yeah, then we're gonna get out of here. More stock, a little DS as well. All right, I've got about 10 minutes till I need to leave, so I'm going to answer some quick questions. We had one question come from Fiona. Watching some of your first videos, what made you move from media to mostly doing clothing? The short of this is, I was doing this full time, basically buying from thrift shops for media and stuff like that. And I realized after crunching the numbers, to get to the numbers that I wanted to achieve, this was never going to be feasible just by relying on media, low-end media. I couldn't get the volume that I wanted, and without spending extra time to go out and source, it just didn't make sense. So I started to weigh up the numbers. I wanted to be able to just make a phone call and get stock instantly, or easily, which is why I went the wholesale model. And yeah, just kind of took the plunge, purchased, I think it was 45 kilos or 90 kilos of Levi's, figured out how to do it, went through the process. Once I knew how to do it, I then put it down into a bit of a process so I could have my photographer come in and do it. We learned how to do that. Then we integrated with having my listing being outsourced as well. And then from there, it was like that. That's really short in terms of too long, didn't read example, but that is the short of it. I realized that I was going to be able to sell it quicker, move it quicker, process it quicker, source it quicker, and it just made so much more sense. So really good question. Sorry if that answer was a little bit rushed. I can go into more detail. I'm just getting through these while I've got the time. So great question. The next question that I had was, where was it? Okay, so this one was come from Tony, and I did talk about this the other day about question in your videos. I frequently hear you mention extra cash, financials, slump in sales, few extra expenses, lower month due to setup costs. Now I'm pretty sure I already covered this, but they were talking about subleasing. You know, would I consider subleasing this? And I did answer it in short, but I wanted to talk about this a little bit more. So there's a whole bunch of things that I want to achieve here, and I'm betting on myself more, and I don't really want to bring other parties into this ecosystem that create additional chaos or create additional things that I cannot control. I already spoke about the subleasing, but one thing I didn't really clarify is I've had a lot of people actually say, oh, you know, do you want to go into a warehouse together? All those kind of things. To me, I don't want to do that because I want to make sure I'm removing those, I guess, those instances where they could go wrong and not even go down that path, because obviously I've seen it happen with other people, and that also was a recommendation from my mentor. If I'm going to do it, be able to do it by myself, because if you go in to do it with someone else or sublease or all these different things, and one of them jumps out, then I'm stuck with it. So I really want to make sure before I, go do anything like that I understand the implications of that. But I went into this knowing that I can do it by myself, I want to do it by myself, and I want to make it work by myself. However, I'm not going to say that that's not actually a really good idea. In the longer term, actually what would have actually made more sense is I pay $5,000, $10,000, get that set up, and then lease out the top there, so they don't even have come into this space. But short term, it does not make sense for me at this point, because I have to spend more money to make more money. But it definitely gives me some really good ideas and some thinking points around some of those options. But really, my role was a good example of my role was today, where I was out doing a lot of business development stuff. I want to keep doing more of that, and some of that will happen via the office, and some of that will happen on the road. I can't remember if I answered this already. Also from Tony, if I was to move again, would I consider scheduling a bulk lot of listings to cover my downtime? It appears not listing on a frequent basis has potentially had a negative impact. Look, I think yes and no. I'm not too fussed about the scheduling. Ideally, we actually worked to have quite a good photo bank, but I started to exhaust them pretty quick because I just wanted to get the items listed. And it sounds like people that have been listing, I'm down $5,000 in the last 3-4 weeks, and it sounds like other people are down. So I don't think me not listing has actually had the main impact of the store not being as viable as it has been, 30 days ago. I listed 16 bundle lots of wholesale electronics, and they sold within minutes. So sometimes it's not about that because you're not listing, that's why you're not getting sales. Sometimes it's just timing in the market. Sometimes it's other things at play. Sometimes there's a whole range of factors. I think it has had a little bit of impact, but not the main driver of why sales have been down. Sales were good today. The other thing was, there was a few people that had mentioned that me spinning around like this is making people sick. I do apologize. I totally forget about it. I'm a walker and talker. I'm a walkie-talkie. So when I'm moving around, it helps me get all my things happening in my head in the right motion. But I do apologize for all the quick movement. So I will try and be more mindful of that. All right, sorry for the quick rapid fire questions and answers. I'm going to get out of here. I've got to go to an appointment before I go pick up Carla. We'll be back here tomorrow. We've got that getting fixed up. I've got my new desk that hopefully we can start to work on this. And I've also got to do all my market prep as well. So, big day. Anyway, I'll see you folks tomorrow, and we'll do it all again. Ciao. Folks, welcome to Friday. It's 8:30 in the morning. It's actually a really, really foggy morning. It's actually quite nice. Got the roller door open to let some fresh air in here. Today's a busy day. We've got the boss in today as well, keeping it real. And this has to move a little bit 10 mil to the side just to be adjusted, and then it's all good to go. So that will get done today. I've got to do market prep today. We do have photographer in today. I need to put those on charge. I've got some clothing I need to sort through for the market as well. Then a whole bunch of different things need to happen. Really, the market is the most priority. We've got to pick, pack and post. We don't have too many orders, but we've had some high value orders, which obviously makes my life a little bit easier. We're sitting back on 86,400. We've got 10 orders, and we've got some Pokemon stuff. We've got some more multi-quantity orders and a laptop and some shirts and yeah, a whole bunch of different goodies. And what else do I need to do today? Probably going to set up one of my workbenches. I do have one in the back of the van that I still need to get out. Need to continue to sort media and lots of options today, but I think priority is that and the market prep. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to get cracking into the day. Actually, we're going to have some breakfast, then get cracking and bring you along for the journey. We'll see you in a jiffy. Kyla's working as well. For herself, not for me.
With you.
Here in spirit. All right, folks, I've just done a quick little pick, just rushing to get things done, just so I've got plenty of time to get things done. So we've sold some Pokemon. We've sold another MacBook that's got 120. Whole bunch of clothes. There's about 5 pieces in here, which is multi-quantity. Just all bread and butter, just shirts and jeans and stuff. We did sell some RAM. That was pretty cool. That's gone for about $42. And then these bad boys, they've gone for about $286 over to the US. Repeat buyer, actually, which is pretty cool. Which is good to know. Other than that, sales have been pretty slow. I was expecting my my electric screwdriver to arrive yesterday, and it did not, which is frustrating because I need that for these, just to speed the process up. We did get this nice little all-in-one little teak DVD, HDMI. It's going to be really good for testing video games as well because it's got all the multiple connections in the back, and hopefully set up the workstation here. We'll start to anyway today as well. And yeah, I also got a few other bits and bobs. Got this old National cassette recorder. Got a few little bits and bobs here. Got some old desktops to go through, and another bunch of bags of goodies in here, and some more clothes in there. So lots of things, but let's get packing now and get this day started. Folks, just quickly stepping out, I realized I don't know if I've misplaced it in the move or I just didn't realize I was out of it, but I'm out of ink for my international orders, and I've got quite a few to send. So I'm just quickly nicked out to an Officeworks to pick some up. But while I do that, I thought I would just kind of like quickly talk about some of the things on my mind. And I mean, this isn't the recap for the end of the week, but you know, it might go towards some of that anyway. But I guess, you know, coming off last week where I was a little bit frustrated with just, not that we weren't making progress, that things weren't happening as quick as I would like. And, you know, that's the reality of life. But, you know, not to say that I'm not happy with where we're at. It's more that, you know, I'm just so keen to execute and really start to see everything fall into place. Now, things are starting to fall into place, but at the same time, there's so many things going on, which is my own fault, like in terms of me saying yes to this or agreeing to that or wanting to do this or looking at a new deal or all these different things. And all these things take up your time. And, you know, there's two kind of ways I look at this is naturally in the community that I am in and that you are in, that we're here together, it's a reseller community. And that reseller community has a lot of boxes and mindsets and I guess perspectives and yeah, I guess sometimes restrictions in how we think. For me, I've always tried to continuously remove myself from those boxed ways of thinking. Now, this is not a bad thing. I'm like, I please don't take this the wrong way. I'm a reseller. That's how I started. That's how I, you know, have built my business. But I'm really trying to step away from some of the framing and some of the mindset of, I feel like we can get ourselves stuck in this box mindset. And therefore, to others, that's why what I do, maybe it doesn't make sense or it doesn't seem worth it. For me, when I'm thinking about everything that I'm doing, I'm thinking about it in a perspective of like, okay, is this going to get me closer to where I want to be? And when I say that, like, you know, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now kind of thing, which is why I'm doing a lot of the heavy investing now in the business, knowing or hoping that that's where we're going to get to. For instance, there's a lot of things that maybe I didn't need to do short term because they don't make sense. However, I feel like there's going to come a point in time where all these things are going to pay dividends because I can say yes, I can do it. Like the pallet racking, the walkie stacker, you know, setting up things the way I am in very precise ways, or in a way that I can foresee that if I do all of a sudden have an influx of stock that is non-clothing, then we're able to process it, because I really want to make sure we're in the position to execute. We're in the position to just get things done. And I think that's an advantage that I can leverage when I go out to new customers, new suppliers, to add value, and how I sell myself as a service to other businesses. And one thing that I think people don't necessarily think about is like, yeah, we're here to flip
We're here to flip items to make money, right? Every item that you buy anywhere has been purchased or manufactured for a lower price, and therefore it's getting sold for a higher price and they're making a profit. That is the bare basics of a business. That's what we're doing on a scale. For me, it's the same thing. I'm just not looking at it from the perspective of like, I'm going to try and find 1 or 2 items that I can flip for $100. I'm trying to find a consistency of stock that are continuously able to, you know, churn through a machine and get it to a point where we're able to sell it and we're able to make some good money out of it consistently. Be it the clothing, be it electronics, be it media, be it all these different things. So my point to all this is my you know, I guess my challenge to you, or my encouragement to you, is do not limit yourself to the way other people expect you to do things. And if you've got an idea, if you've come into the world of reselling or business or e-commerce or anything like that, and you obviously see how other people do it, you see how I do it, you see how other YouTubers do it, you know, maybe you've got other reference points or mentors or whatever, and that gives you a perspective or a baseline of what is possible, what can be done, and how you can do it. But what that doesn't account for is your skills, your background, your experience, your unfair advantage, all the things that you've acquired, whether it's a short-term or long-term of an experience. You bring something different that no one else has, which is you. So don't always expect or assume that you have to do everything the way that everyone wants you to do it. If I had followed what everyone wanted me to do, I wouldn't be where I am. But at the same time, I'm doing things in a way which is really uncomfortable for others, but it really makes sense for me and it works really, really well for me. So, you know, you got to make sure you take that into account and do not underestimate yourself. Of course, you got to take, you know, you got to take calculated risks. You got to be really mindful about what you do and how you do it. But the whole point of this is, what I'm trying to say is, there's all these different perspectives. Do not limit yourself to a box mindset. Think outside the box. Bring what you can bring to the table. Bring that as a value opportunity to other customers, other businesses, when you're trying to build out your business. Because if you tap into that, that's where you can really, I guess, outwin other people, other competitors, other resellers, and other people. All right, I'm here now. I'm going to go pick up my goodies and get back to the warehouse.
All right, folks, we are back. Got all that done, printed off all the postage. It is now done. I did get a bag of clothes yesterday. I'm just going to quickly have a sticky beak through this and then get on to the next task. All right, that's done. I'm now going to sort this bundle of clothing, and actually probably that one. I actually need to make some decisions if we're going to have any more washing picked up on Monday. I've got confirmation that my other photographer is back next week, so they'll be here Thursday, which means I've got photographer here for the second half of today, and then Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday next week. So we've got all of this, and we've got all of this. I think all of this will get done today, which means we've only got that. There's about 150 there, which I think I need to get washing back for next Thursday. So I'm probably going to prep some washing bags as well, and make sure I've got all that ready for pickup on Monday potentially too. So always things to be done. All right, already separated out all of this. It's all gone. It's either been put into washing, or it's gone to the market, or it's gone into this pile. I'm now going to actually start opening up some of those boxes. We haven't done this for a while. They've been sitting there for 30 days, more than that. We're going to open them up right now. Not all of them. I'm just going to do one box at a time, put them into categories, because I need to use that for making up washing. don't know how well you can hear this, but they're just doing the work on the pallet racking. I'm actually got a new desk workstation that I'm going to show you in a second. I'm going to start setting it up. I just can't talk because obviously it's so noisy in there. So I'll show you what I've got, and then I'll show you what I'm doing, and then I'll show you the end result. Because I don't know how long they're going to be, so you just have to put up with it. Alright folks, I've got this set up. This is not how it's going to be because this still needs to have the wheels put on it, and so does this. And this now, everything's going to eventually move one bay across, so all of that's going to go down, and next week the goal is to actually sort all of that, which we've already started. But these will get wheels on them, and then I'll set this up properly for next week. But at least for now we're in a position where I know where things are going. Everything will come down slightly a little bit, so that will probably end up being around here, and that way we'll have all this space. Now this is where I'm putting things on pallets at the moment, just to get things in the flow. It's a bit squishy at the moment, but once we get that finished, which there's actually some screw issues, so they just got to get a bigger drill, so they're coming back on the weekend to do that, so I can start putting things up on there on Monday. Always one more thing to do, but then we'll be able to move that over to there, then we'll be able to sort all that. That will move down, that will go over there, and then hopefully by the end of March we will be in full steam ahead. I started making up the DVD and CD boxes. Just give me a second and I'll show you what that looks like. Issue here. Give me a second. Alright, so this is what we've made up so far. Now, we're still testing all this, but this is like the DVDs and media. This is all sealed, all here. Then just a few just interesting things that I think aren't necessarily bad. Then we've got all CDs. There is a couple of sealed ones in here as well, but nothing crazy. And then we've got, I think some Blink-182. Then we've got all those as well. And still need to sort the rest of it as well. But this is essentially somewhat what it's going to be like. Ideally, I want to have the same sizing of all this, so we can kind of average out how many, like, you know, expectations of, you know, DVDs or CDs fit into it. I think the pricing of all this is going to be 20 cents per item, no questions asked. Some of it is like brand new, some of it's perfectly fine, some of it will need disc cleaning. But you know, it's a good opportunity for people if they want to get into some cheap media. But the idea is that it will be, ideally I want someone that comes from purchases a minimum quantity at a time, so it makes it work for me. This was only out of 4 boxes sorted, so ideally, you know, I would like to sell them in lots of, yeah, ideally, you know, lots of, you know, 500 plus, but we'll see. I've got to see what the flow is. I was meant to get the first delivery today, but that's been pushed out again until next week, so things aren't always going as the way I want them to, but that's just the reality of it. Anyway, I'm gonna go prep for the market and then gotta get out of here. Alright folks, not as chockers this time. I'm going with a model of less is more. We'll see how we go. I'm just packing up now, getting out of here. It's been a pretty good day. I mean, all things considered, we've shuffled lots of things. We've started to get this ready for next week. It's what I wanted to have done by this week anyway. We've started to get into all that clothing. We're starting to make some really good progress as well. As you can see, it's all been sorted as well. Had the photographer helping with that today. Other than that, I mean, I've got to do the postage now. That's still got to get done over the weekend, but other than that, that's it. So I'll give you a recap after this and wish us luck for the market, eh? Ciao. Oh, it's a bit dark. Folks, all right, I'm home now. I'm just going to quickly do my recap because, well, hadn't done it and totally nearly forgot. So, what a week. And I kind of spoke about, we're getting things done. I was a bit frustrated last week. I think it was good to be able to just actually make the progress of what I wanted to achieve. Oh, we're almost there, but that's the problem is there's always more and more things which Carla's just randomly casually walking around. There's always more things that take time, right? There's that's the reality of it. I understand this, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have ambition and goals to push forwards, because there's always going to be barriers or things which will slow you down. Therefore, you got to push through it. And I see a lot of people that they start something and then because it gets hard or it doesn't work out or they thought it was going to be this or whatever, they stop or they give up or they slow down or they lose motivation. There's a fly which is really annoying me. And my encouragement is like, this is speaking to myself, right? Don't give up. And I'm not giving up. I've locked myself in for 3-5 years now because of the obviously getting the warehouse lease, but when you do get those hurdles and obstacles and walls that come up in front of you, you got to learn how to navigate them. You got to learn how to climb over them, go around them, figure it out. Sometimes this could be managing costs. Sometimes it could be not enough sourcing. Sometimes it can be cash flow. Sometimes it can be just things not going per plan, timing. Maybe you get scammed, all these different things. There's always going to be something that's creating a little bit of chaos or a big amount of chaos in that journey, in any of your journey, whether it be life or business. So, for me, I really can't complain because we're still making progress. We're moving forwards. We're starting to get a bit more sales up again. But we didn't land where I wanted to this week in terms of things done, but we got closer to where I want to be. So that's all that matters, right? And next week will be an interesting one again. And I'm working on signing that deal that we spoke about, that I went and had a look at on Thursday, was it? Yeah, Thursday. So I think that's going to go ahead. I've got to do a little prep work for that this week, and then we'll make that happen for next week, the following week, sorry. I didn't have my new, managed service that I was taking over kick off yet. That's been delayed by a week again. So just lots of things like that, but it's okay. We've got the market tomorrow. I'm thinking my approach this month is less is more. So I haven't taken as much stuff. I'm actually also thinking about being pretty bullish. Like all my stuff's really good stock. Like we've got some pretty good stuff there. Bargains, absolutely. But I am thinking about just going hard and say everything's $10. I don't know. Everything's $20 at the moment, but we'll see. I'll see how I go tonight. And in terms of financials, this week, I think we're actually going to land probably between 7,500. So we're still tracking to where I want to be. We're playing catch up. I'm going to list some Apple MacBooks tonight as well to get some extra movements for those. And month-wise, we're almost back to breaking even for the month. After all those expenses, I still have more expenses to pay. So, it is what it is. Yeah, other than that, look, I can't really complain. Everything's going to plan. It's just not as quick as I would want it, but sometimes that happens for a reason. So appreciate you all. If you did stick around last week, I did give a code word. I've got another code word this week, and I'll just reveal the winner. I'll put that up on screen. Congratulations. The code word for this week is door, D-O-O-R. So see if you can sneak that one into a comment. Appreciate you all. If you did have any questions or want to continue the conversation, more than happy to do so. We'll be back here next week doing it all again. Thank you for everyone that's been leaving comments, having conversation with me. It means absolute world to me. We've grown, and we'll be back here doing it all again next week. Ciao.